Hi, I'm Jimmy, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to show off something that I've been working on in Gran Turismo 7. This is a fun project that shows off why I love this game and what makes GT7 so special. First off, the car that we are watching is a 1966 Shelby Cobra, an iconic American sports car with a Ford V8 engine. This car has 484 horsepower, weighs less than 240 pounds, and produces 480 foot-pounds of torque. This car is beautiful to look at and very fun to drive. But can we do better? You see, one of the real joys of Gran Turismo is, not only can you collect and drive amazing cars such as this, you can upgrade them and customize them. I am going to take this classic American sports car and see if I can turn it into the ultimate racing machine. To begin, let's take the stock Shelby Cobra to the Daytona road course to set a reference lap. This lap time will be our baseline. Our goal will be to steadily improve the car, bringing that lap time down as low as we can. Before we begin, there is one thing we need to take care of. You see, Gran Turismo 7 treats traction control and anti-lock brakes as assists rather than upgrades. This means that every car in the game has those features enabled by default. But the Shelby Cobra doesn't have either of those features. If we want the true stock driving experience, we need to disable traction control and ABS. There. Now we are ready to begin. So here we are on our run-up to start our flying lap. This will be the reference lap, driving in the stock Shelby Cobra. And already, I think, it just says, before we even start, I think you can see one of the limitations of the stock version of this car is the transmission. We are topped out at 4th gear, there's nowhere for us to go, and we're only hitting 156 miles per hour. As you can probably tell by the sound, I'm struggling to make the most of these brakes. It is very easy to lock up when braking. Braking into T1 was a little rough there. And here I'm just having to be very gentle with this car. It really does accelerate once it gets going, but you kind of have to make sure the car is pointed straight and nice and settled before you really press on the accelerator, or else you're going to go spinning. There again, a bit of a squeal as we lock up the brakes into this corner. But yeah, one thing I will say is spending a lot of time with this car is, you know, it is very fun to drive. The stock version of this car, even with no traction control, no ABS, you know, all the limitations. It is lively, it's responsive, it goes where you point it, and yeah, it's a lot of fun to drive. You have to take care with it. You have to work with the car and not against it. It's definitely a lot of effort, but it's just a lot of fun to drive. It's a real treat. I say that as I'm absolutely burning rubber into the bus stop, but make it through, and now we are flooring it onto the final straight. This will be the end of the best lap of our session, which will set the baseline for the rest of our test. This will be the goal, the thing we are comparing ourselves against. And there we are across the line. It's a 207.175. And here's the car I am going to tune up. I'm planning to make some serious modifications to this car, so I bought a second Shelby Cobra to turn it into a track monster. And the first thing I'm going to do is give it a custom paint job to make it look the part. Now I can make as many modifications as I want to this car, and I will still have another Shelby Cobra in original condition. So here I'm showing clips from the first test lap of the new race car. Besides the custom paint job, the only modification I have made is I have enabled anti-lock brakes. That change alone makes the braking much more efficient and much more consistent, which is very nice. It makes the car easier to drive, and it makes it faster. Sort of counterintuitive, but yes, being able to stop quickly leads to faster lap times. Anti-lock brakes also help by making it easier to concentrate on driving the car. Without ABS, I would spend a lot of time thinking about how much brake pressure to apply before each turn and trying to gauge that to get it just right. And that distracted me and made it harder for me to focus on things like turning points and when to, switch to acceleration. So just having less to think about makes the car easier to drive. And there, we crossed the finish line with a lap time of 2:04.815 for a gain of 2.36 seconds. For the next test lap, we are upgrading to sport tires. These tires should offer better grip, which should translate to better braking, acceleration, and handling, resulting in better overall performance and a faster lap time. And there, we crossed the finish line at 2 minutes 0.428 seconds with a 4.387 second improvement over the previous lap time. Now with this lap, we have added a custom racing transmission with the longer gear ratios, and this lets us reach a much higher top speed. Previously, the car would top out at 156 miles per hour, but now the car can reach up to 188 miles per hour on the long straightaway. So this is going to translate to a much quicker lap time. We've crossed the finish line with a lap time of 1 minute 53.937 seconds. That's an improvement of 6.491 seconds over the previous lap time. And so far, we've gained more than 13 seconds from our starting lap. So with just a few simple upgrades, we've managed to get a considerable improvement in lap times for the Shelby Cobra. For the next round of upgrades, we are doing 3 stages of weight reduction, stripping out more than 400 pounds out of the car, and adding a supercharger, which gives us almost another 100 horsepower. This should significantly increase the car's power to weight ratio, resulting in faster acceleration and a further increase in the top speed. with a time of 1 minute and 50.883 seconds for an improvement of 3.054 seconds over the previous lap. The next two parts I'm getting are the customizable suspension and the customizable differential. Between these two parts, I will have a lot of options that I can tune. If I can dial them in just right, I should be able to improve the car's handling. Unfortunately, tuning the car proved to be a challenge. At over 580 horsepower, the car was tough to control. Turn the wheel just a little too much, and the back end would start to come round, sending the car into a spin. Eventually, I managed to settle on a tune that stopped the back end from sliding out while still allowing the car to turn in nicely on the lower speed corners. Now that we have the suspension tuned the way I like it, let's take the car out on the track and see what kind of lap time we can get. Across the finish line in 1 minute and 50.112 seconds for an improvement of 0.771 seconds over the previous lap. And yeah, I might have spun out at the end. That might have been on purpose. For the next set of upgrades, we are going to install wider wheels and put on racing slicks. This should result in a significant increase in grip. So let's take the car out and see how it does with the upgraded tires. Across the line with a time of 1 minute and 49.295 seconds for an improvement of 0.817 seconds over the previous lap. I was hoping for a better time, but I think I'm still getting used to how the car handles after the changes to the suspension. For the next round of upgrades, I'm going to be installing a wide body on this car and also adding a rear wing. This is a big reason why I decided to buy a second car for this upgrade, is once you install the wide body kit, there's no way to remove it. And I definitely want to still have a Cobra that has the classic look. I also looked, but there's no option to add a splitter or a diffuser, so we'll have to settle with just the wing for downforce. But enough of that, let's see how the car performs. Across the finish line with a time of 1 minute 47.84 seconds with an improvement of 1.455 seconds over the previous lap. And now I really feel like the car is coming together. I feel like the handling and suspension tuning is all where I want it to be. This car feels really stable and settled and just really easy to drive. So now I am buying the final round of upgrades. It's mostly engine improvements to help boost the horsepower, but I'm also getting the racing clutch, which should improve gear shifts, and the brake balance controller, which will let me adjust the balance between the front and rear brakes. Don't plan on using the brake balance, but it's nice to have the option. And these are the finished tuning settings of the fully upgraded Shelby Cobra. This is the car in its final configuration with everything I like, just the way I like it. With this, we are good to go. So, for the last time, let's take this car out for a spin and see what it can do. Bring it across the line with a final time of 1 minute and 43.512 seconds. That's an improvement of 4.328 seconds. And if you remember back to the beginning of the video, with all the upgrades, the total improvement in our lap time was 23.663 seconds. So that's a really great improvement. I'm very happy with this car. I'm happy with how it turned out. It's very quick, it's very light, and it's very fun to drive. And that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like or comment. Let me know if you want to see more of this. And in the meantime, thank thank you for watching. Goodbye.